You know, the fact that Hi-Fi Rush is in the news again for the Nintendo Switch version specifically, by the way, makes me wonder what other new Xbox/Microsoft owned IPs are possible on the Nintendo Switch. And the Nintendo Switch 2 as well, and I'm not talking about Gear 6 or any other ones like Fable. I mean, that would be pretty cool, but I'm talking about things like rare games. Can we please get a new Conker's Bad Fur Day? Or heck, I'd even take Conker's Bad Fur Day added to the Nintendo Switch online service myself. This also makes me wonder if Hi-Fi Rush is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Will that be a June Nintendo Direct reveal? What do you guys think? And what rare games do you want to see on the Switch? Hey guys, it's Rob here, and welcome back to the Robo Show, where we take the gaming news format that channels like Spawnwood or Arlo do, add a dash of animation and some cool editing on top to bring you your gaming news, leaks, and rumors in a fresh new way. If you're new here and want to be kept up on everything gaming, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoy the video and dislike if not, and have that notification bell on so you know when I upload. In this video, we are going to talk about some new Nintendo Switch news for new games hitting the Switch, as well as the Nintendo Switch 2 and info that could suggest that Sega's rebooted games are hitting that platform as well. And not just one or two, but all of them, which would be amazing. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. The more you guys leave those comments, the more YouTube pushes it in the algorithm, which means I can spend more time on new animations for the show. So the Nintendo Switch 2 has been getting a lot of details leaked, from a 1080p screen to a 4K docked ability and backwards compatibility as well, which is really exciting. I mean, I want to play Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Bayonetta 3, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Vengeance as well. Or I guess you would just play Vengeance since it's the same version but better with extra content. And of course future games like Metroid Prime and Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. I'm still really excited for that. But I think one thing that a lot of people are wondering is what other games are coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. I think we can all assume that we're going to get our usual Mario, Zelda, and all that great stuff. But what about third-party games from developers like Sega? Well, Midori, who is responsible for some Nintendo Switch leaks on Twitter, seems to have the scoop, and this is what My Nintendo News has to say. Proven Sega Atlas leaker Midori has commented further on the slate of remakes in the works over at Sega, and now says that all of them are destined for the successor to the Nintendo Switch. Sega previously announced that Jet Set Radio, Golden Axe, Shinobi, Streets of Rage, and Crazy Taxi are all being revived, though it refused to announce a platform. And just real quick, I wonder if the reason why they refuse to announce the platforms for these games is because it's coming to the Nintendo Switch. 2. Add a 2 onto there. Or who knows, maybe it's going to be called the Super Switch or the new Nintendo Switch. I don't know what the name is going to be. I think that's actually going to be pretty interesting on what they end up calling it, because I don't think it's going to be called the Nintendo Switch 2. It now seems as though these titles will be skipping the original Nintendo Switch and will instead land on the unannounced Nintendo Switch 2. Now there are a couple things to break down in this article, in this news, or I guess Nintendo Switch 2 leak you would call it. I mean, it is coming from someone who's proven in the past for their leaks, so I assume it is gonna come true, but we'll see. It could always be fake, always remember that. But assuming this does come true, this means that the original Nintendo Switch won't have this game, and that means that something pretty big that isn't really outright said, but is happening with this Nintendo Switch leak. This means that some games won't hit the original Nintendo Switch, and I think that is going to happen. I think that was going to happen. I think a lot of people were expecting it, but to hear it from a Nintendo insider who has in the past been right about their leaks is kind of solidifying that some games won't hit the original Nintendo Switch, and some people might not like that. I think first-party games like the Zeldas and Marios and the Metroids and all that kind of stuff is gonna hit both platforms. It would be insane for Nintendo not to bring those games to both platforms. But when it comes to third-party games, I am wondering if some Nintendo Switch 2 games are gonna be specific for the Nintendo Switch 2 and not the original Nintendo Switch. This would also have to make you wonder, how big is this platform? Is this gonna be just a regular old-fashioned upgrade, or is this gonna be a platform that they're gonna be going on for the next couple years, 5-7 years again? I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how Nintendo goes forward with this next console. Will it be like the new 3DS, or is it gonna be its own thing and eventually the original Nintendo Switch will be phased out? And then next Nintendo Switch iteration, and they'll just keep going on the Switch for the next couple of generations. Because you have to think, eventually they're gonna get to the point where these handheld consoles are gonna hit 4K 30 to 60 FPS, and it's gonna be at a reasonable price. Of course, that's in the future, but eventually that performance is gonna be there, and then the question is, well, why would you even do a console that's locked to the TV at that point, right? The plateau, essentially, of what this console is gonna hit eventually is what I'm talking about. At what point do the power of the actual console stop mattering, and extra things like portability matter even more? Interesting question to ask, especially when you factor in the next, say, 5 or 10 years of gaming. Technology grows so fast, eventually we're gonna get to the point where the power of the console doesn't really matter, it's the form factor. I don't know, I think that would be an interesting video to do, focused on that solely. But getting back to what I was saying, I'm not too surprised that these games are gonna be hitting the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm more specifically surprised that it's gonna be only the Nintendo Switch 2. But we already know the Switch 2 is gonna sell a lot, so there's gonna be an install base for those games. Sega would be insane to miss out on this when it comes to that platform. A lot of people in the beginning of the Nintendo Switch's lifetime skipped the Nintendo Switch. Not people, but companies, I mean. So it is going to be interesting to see if we do end up seeing a lot more third-party support for the Nintendo Switch 2 compared to the original Nintendo Switch. Because let's be honest, it's going to be weaker than the PS5 and Xbox Series X, but that brand recognition and the install base is going to be carrying with the name of the Nintendo Switch, so it's going to be more appetizing to companies. Compared to the original Nintendo Switch, which just came off of the Wii U, which, let's be honest, that didn't do well financially. I love the Wii U, but I gotta be honest. And speaking of this topic, I kinda want Shadows of Mordor and War to come to the Nintendo Switch 2. Might be because I've been playing it recently, but I would love to see that portable. Now, speaking of other companies bringing games to the Nintendo Switch 2, it seems that Hi-Fi Rush is going to be coming to the original Nintendo Switch according to this rating. Recently, Hi-Fi Rush was rated for the Nintendo Switch in Europe, and usually when this happens, we do end up seeing it at some kind of Nintendo Direct. Usually anyways. I thought Silksong would be at that partner Direct, but it wasn't, despite all the ratings and the Microsoft Front Store and all of that stuff. But usually, and when I say usually, that means sometimes it doesn't, it usually does hit the platform. Now the question is, when will we see this game, as well as the Sega stuff too? I think we have a good chance to see some of this stuff at a June Nintendo Direct, assuming that the Nintendo Switch 2 is revealed there. If it's not revealed there, I don't think we're gonna be seeing that Sega stuff, but I do think we'll see Hi-Fi Rush. It would just make a lot of sense to me. Now, one thing I do want to bring up is Xbox bringing games to the Nintendo Switch. So we know that Xbox is being really buddy-buddy with Nintendo. I mean, that's happening for a while now, but it wasn't until recently, I would say in the past couple months, that we didn't even realize how far that goes. I mean, if Hi-Fi Rush is hitting the Nintendo Switch, could Xbox bring other games to the Nintendo Switch, not just Hi-Fi Rush? Could we see Conker's Bad Fur Day on the Nintendo Switch? Are they gonna make another Conker's Bad Fur Day? Or even Banjo-Kazooie, that's another game that could come to the Nintendo Switch. I mean, Banjo was already in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as well, which now that looking back at that, I wonder if that was kind of the first sign of Xbox really expanding to other platforms. If you had to ask me that question, I would say yeah. I don't see why these games wouldn't hit the console at all. When it comes to Conker's Bad Fur Day specifically though, you have to wonder if Nintendo would ever make an 18+ app. I know they already have one, but correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, but it's only available outside the US and other territories. There are some places it's just not available. But I mean, if Nintendo wanted to make it available in other places, I don't see why they wouldn't, right? So maybe we will eventually get Conker's Bad Fur Day on the Nintendo Switch online service, or who knows, maybe Xbox will make another Conker's Bad Fur Day. That would be amazing, and maybe it will be on the Nintendo Switch too. Or maybe this is just me wanting another Conker's Bad Fur Day. But overall, guys, what do you guys think about the news? Are you excited for Sega's rebooted games coming to the Switch 2? And are you going to pick up Hi-Fi Rush on the Nintendo Switch? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. And if not, on your way out, make sure you subscribe for more videos and also have that notification bell on. And if you want to support the channel in any other way, there is my Patreon and Twitter account in the pinned comment if you're interested in those. Oh, and also have this donut if you're still sticking around for me rambling. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.